Maybe in another life. She doesn't know why she walks to the meadow that day. It's not where she usually goes. But something in her chest that feels like a half-remembered name, pulls her there. The sky is soft with evening. The light goldens everything. And in the middle of it all, wildflowers sway gently. Daisies, buttercups, those tiny blue ones she never learned the name of. And butterflies, 2 of them, gliding like fragments of something sacred. She lets out a breath, and then she sees him. He's standing at the far edge, hands in his pockets, eyes on the horizon like he's lost something he can't name. Or maybe like he's just found it again. He turns at the exact moment she lifts her head. Their eyes meet, and something unseen inside the world shifts, not dramatically. No thunder, just a gentle, ancient rearranging, as if the universe has just whispered, "There you are." He walks toward her like he's stepping into a memory. She doesn't smile, yet. She doesn't speak, yet. But she feels it, that impossible, overwhelming, breathless knowing, like looking at someone you've dreamed of every night since birth. And when he stops in front of her, he whispers it, "It's you." She doesn't ask how he knows, because she knows too. They talk for hours, not the surface kind. Not what do you do or where are you from. They talk in soul language, in glances that say, "I've felt what you felt," in silences that say, "I've carried you with me without even knowing your name." They talk about stars, and how some people are constellations, guiding you even in the dark. They talk about music, and how one note can unravel you more than 1,000 words ever could. And when the butterflies drift between them, she laughs, softly, sadly, and says, "If we were butterflies, we could stay in the air forever, and never land," he adds, smiling like it hurts. "Never leave," she finishes. They don't kiss, it's not time for that, but they sit close, and the wind braids their heartbeats together. The sun begins to sink. The horizon swallows the light, and she says what she knows she shouldn't. "This doesn't make sense." "No," he agrees. "But what if sense has nothing to do with it?" She looks down. "We can't, can we?" He looks up, at the butterflies, at the moon now rising like a witness. Maybe in another life? She closes her eyes. A single tear, not of pain, but of surrender, of knowing. "Yeah," she whispers, and in that moment the air is too heavy to breathe. Because love, true love, isn't always something you get to keep. Sometimes it's something you find just once, to remember what home feels like. They part, not with promises, not with goodbyes. Just one last look that says everything language can't. He walks west, she walks east. And between them, the butterflies rise again, circling upward like prayers they were too afraid to speak aloud. But the story doesn't end there. Years pass. The world keeps spinning, busy and loud, but their souls, quiet, steady, still turn toward each other in the silence. She sits in cafes and feels the ache of him in the empty chair. He walks beneath streetlights and hears her laughter in the hush of wind. Every love after feels like a translation, close, maybe, resembling something true, but never quite the original. They try, they live. They're not broken, they're not tragic. But some nights, when the moon is full and the world is too soft to resist, they whisper into the dark, "Are you still out there? Did I imagine us?" And in some sacred place between heartbeats, they both answer, "I'm here. I never left." She dreams of him sometimes. In the dreams, he's always barefoot in the meadow, hands full of stars. She runs to him and he smiles, not with joy, but with recognition. "You found me," she says. "I've been waiting," he says. They don't ask for timelines or labels or logic. They just hold each other, and everything that was once too painful to carry alone suddenly makes sense in the curve of his arms. And maybe, just maybe, on some distant spring evening, when both their worlds grow quiet enough to hear the truth underneath everything, they'll step into that meadow once more. And this time, they won't ask the question, because they'll already be in the life they were always meant for. This time, she won't say maybe, and he won't say yeah. They'll say, this one, finally, home. But until then, they live their separate lives. And they carry a love that cannot die, cannot fade, cannot be written into any language but this, the hush of wildflowers, the touch of two souls meeting in the dusk, the whisper of two butterflies circling through a golden sky, and the echo of a single, aching, beautiful truth. Maybe in another life. Yeah,